Major questions surrounding the Minnesota Vikings training camp and preseason is who is going to start at center. Was it going to be incumbent Garrett Bradbury in year 4, wanting some more with the Grim Reacher finally get together? Could it be Chris Reed, the free agent coming over from the Colts, pride of Mankato State University Community College, but he's been dinged up? Or could it be Austin Schlottmann, the dark horse coming over from the Denver Broncos, following some of the Vikings' new offensive staff? Could he be the guy who just slides on in there, performs well in training camp preseason, and secures the job eventually? He certainly could. And artist rendition. He looks good in 65, by the way, giving us shades of John Sullivan. Sully, right back in the day, man. That's how undersized centers are supposed to perform, man. John Sullivan, the pride of Notre Dame. But I do think that Schlottmann could have some potential, and maybe not week 1, but at some point this season, it's happening until we get to 2023. And speaking of Notre Dame, Jarrett Patterson one time. I understand the whole having bad memories of drafting a first-round center. Don't care. Jarrett Patterson is the man, by the way. But I think there's a couple of reasons why Schlottmann could get the start this year. Number one, knows the blocking scheme that new offensive line coach Chris Cooper, assistant O-line coach Justin Riscotti, as well as run game coordinator, running backs coach Curtis Mockins is installing up front. So he knows that from 3 years with that regime, 4 years in Denver. He's been very good at calling protections. You see him where he was working with the second-team offensive line against the Raiders, working with the starters against the Niners, calling things out, blah, blah, blah. Is the mic getting them in the right protection? Could have worked better on the Kinlaw sack, but what can you do? Number 3, posted a 92.2 PFF grade against the Niners, showing up and showing out. Remember, San Francisco started a number of their starters for the first half of that second preseason game. And so far, 0 pressure, 0 sacks, and 41 pass blocking snaps throughout 2 games. So he's been impressive. Also has had himself a really good training camp. So I think that the pride of TCU could have a shot. Let's talk about Austin Schlottmann today. Background, 6'6", 300 pounds, 26 years young. Was a UDFA in 2018 out of the aforementioned TCU. He a Horned Frog. Played in 42 career games for the Broncos, including 7 starts, mainly at guard, mainly at right guard, but did start 1 game last year for the Broncos at center. Ended up signing a 1-year deal with the Vikings this offseason, following his offensive line coaches, and also seeing some opportunity here because Schlottmann did perform well as a utility backup, a swing interior offensive lineman, shades of Brett Jones from back in the day, but he saw an opportunity here. Now, this depth chart is sort of all over the place because Chris Reed is still on there, but remember, Chris Reed hasn't played yet in preseason. Missed the Raiders and Niners games. He's reportedly dealing with a right elbow issue. Bradbury sat against the Niners, and it was Schlottmann and UDFA Josh Sokol taking up all the center snaps. So I do think that Schlottmann could have a shot, given the coaching staff, given the fact that he's been in the the protection scheme for a number of years, and maybe again, I don't think it'll be week 1. I think that the fact that they sat Bradbury in the second preseason game, they'll probably sit him in the third preseason game as well. I think he's already in the clubhouse that he's going to be starting week 1. But you got Kenny Clark coming up week 1, man. I don't know. I don't know. We're at some point this year. I really hope that the new coaching staff is unlike the previous coaching regime, right? And I don't even think it was all on Phil Rauscher. I think it was just the overarching things like, hey, this is what we're doing along the offensive line. This is who we're starting, and there's not going to be any changes due to performance. But if Bradbury is starting and he's not living up to the standard, I do want to see them give Austin Schlottmann some opportunity. I do want to see them give Chris Reed some opportunity. I do want to see if someone is being the weak link along the offensive line, try to get your best 5 out there. I know it's a wild concept, right, man? But Schlottmann has showed well in training camp. He's shown well in the preseason games, and why not? Why not, man? I think that it is a real possibility. Probably not for week 1, like I mentioned, but at some point, not injury related, not alien abduction related, could you see Austin Schlottmann coming in after Bradbury maybe doesn't do so well in a couple games? But again, I'm rooting for Bradbury. I want him to step up, pan out on that potential, because then the Vikings offensive line would be Super Bowl caliber, having 5 dudes all pointing in the right direction, protecting Kirk Cousins, opening the way for Dalvin Cook. But if he doesn't, Schlottmann, all up in there, man. That's right. Your thoughts on our thoughts. Could Austin Schlottmann win the starting center job? Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Once worth of work, put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.